For most of us, using artificial intelligence feels a lot like standing in a storm. We type a prompt into an open text box, and the system responds with a chaotic, unpredictable stream of thought. The problem with this open-ended model is that the heavy lifting falls back on you. You become a babysitter, constantly correcting hallucinations, steering the logic back on track, and reminding the machine of context it already forgot. That might be fine for drafting an email, but handing over actual business operations to a system that hallucinates carries a margin for error that is simply too wide. Nexus anchors your objectives in a goal-driven AI operating system, where every response is deterministic. It operates on a hard-coded constitutional framework. We deliberately split the creative mind of the language model from the physical infrastructure it runs on. Every layer of that framework exists to enforce reliability, maintain secure boundaries, and ensure that the human operator retains absolute control. To get real structural value out of AI, we have to stop treating it like a conversation partner. We have to put it inside an environment that guarantees safe, repeatable execution. When you give Nexus a mission, you don't watch it think. The unfiltered, chaotic reasoning process happens entirely behind the curtain. Instead of guessing, the system instantly generates multiple parallel solutions. Then it audits itself against your constraints. Hallucinations and logic errors are flagged in red, and noise is stripped away. Nexus extracts the strongest elements and synthesizes them into a single, highly refined deliverable. This stripped filtering also applies to how the system manages time. Standard AI models hoard massive scrolling chat logs until their context windows break down and they lose the thread. Nexus operates on a different rule. It does not remember conversations. It automatically extracts and stores only the durable value, the final decisions, the project requirements, and the actual deliverables. By automating this internal synthesis cycle and discarding the conversational clutter, the system lifts the cognitive burden off your shoulders and hands back a clean, actionable result. Capability requires containment. All of this intelligence operates inside an invisible, mathematically enforced vault. We call the first layer the zero PII boundary. Human identity, contact details, and personal data are physically scrubbed and left behind before any prompt enters the processing pool. Then comes the financial firewall, governed by what we call the prime directive. Every action is tracked against a hard-coded budget limit. If an execution threatens to breach that cost ceiling, the system simply refuses to proceed. For anything that impacts actual infrastructure, there is the governance airlock. High-risk actions are intercepted and locked in a staging area. They sit there until you, the human operator, explicitly grant authorization. These constitutional laws are hardwired into the environment. The model physically lacks the infrastructure permissions required to bypass these gates. Because the environment flawlessly locks down privacy, cost, and operational risk, you can deploy the full processing power of the system without the anxiety of it running off the rails. When the guardrails, the memory, and the filtering are all handled mechanically, the friction of working with AI vanishes. What you are left with is a system that is intentionally quiet. Nexus has no personal agenda, and it will never force you into a rigid, predetermined workflow. It acts as a pristine, highly capable canvas, standing by for your direction. The technology provides the secure foundation, but the hierarchy is absolute. You remain the sovereign architect, bringing the vision, the strategy, and the identity to the equation. Nexus empowers you to decide exactly how artificial intelligence serves your operations, giving you the security and the freedom to build on your own exact terms.